hope the fan is not a problem. It's too hot to film. Even though it's much cooler today, it's too hot to film without it. I tried. So hopefully you can all still hear me, and my husband can adjust something in the volume afterwards. Hi, welcome. I'm Amy of Amy J's Creations. Welcome back. I have a few new subscribers that I saw. Welcome. Thank you. However you found me, awesome. And please, yeah, leave me a comment and introduce yourselves. That's one of my favorite things. I sometimes take a while to respond because I've got other stuff going on, but reading the comments and interacting with the people who leave them and like seeing the same names come up on a regular basis. It doesn't even have to be every video, but just like regularly. I have friends, stitching friends, and I love it. Okay, so we just got back. Well, I have been not here for a while, it's true, because it's summer vacation. And just like I thought, the day that I was supposed to film was like the day before we left to go on vacation. My daughter's birthday was the day we left, and so we celebrated some the night before and then some that day before we got on the plane late at night. So anyway, lots of stuff happening. It was a fantastic trip. Got a few new things, and stick around at the end if you want to hear about that. But for now, let's go with my stitching. Okay. So, first of all, we were dealing with Whip Go. And you know what? I want to get something. Hold on. Alrighty. This is going to help. Alright. So, this is not done, and so this is not ironed. It's very wrinkly. But this is that one, the number that was still called for way back in June, trying to finish this thing. I got lots more done. I did a lot of the back stitching and filled in all those empty spaces that I talked about last time. And spoiler alert, the floss did come. My daughter's bags did arrive. And so now I have that floss so I can fill in that last green color. And so on the buttons that go right here in these little empty spots. And this will be done. And I'm hoping to be able to finish it so I can send it back with Sarah so she can mail it from Utah to my mother who lives in Utah. And so my mom can get it framed. And then I really do think I'm gonna start. So see on the companion piece. So let me show you. So it's out of this book that my mom gave me, and this is a little girl. She also has all the buttons for the little boy. My mom has no cross stitch in her home. Well, she has one piece. Now she has two because I finished the Christmas tree for her. Because everything she stitched, she gave away. I have a couple of her stitched pieces here in my home. She made a wedding sampler, beautiful wedding, lavender and lace thing for me, and then for my son's birth sampler. And so I have pieces from her, but she gave away everything she has, and now she can't cross stitch. So did this one for her that she started, and I'm going to try to find. What I really want is a trip to the Zweigart factory in Stuttgart, meeting up with some stitchy friends in September. Ina, who is a dear friend now, and a new lady, Francisca, who Ina knows, she's going to meet up with us. I'm going to try to organize maybe in October, November, we take a whole day and go up to Stuttgart and do some shopping and try to find a comparable linen to match so that they're kind of the same size. I believe this is a 28 count, but it's like a barely antique white, and I either have white or I have like a much more darker brown. And so I need to look for a slightly barely cream so I can make the companion piece. But there is that. Even though all the confetti was driving me crazy, it was the finished product is freaking cute. I love you, Mama. You're worth it. So there's that piece. My other Whipco for Oh, and okay, so then that was my June whip go. So then the July numbers were I was supposed to do a one of my Mill Hill bead snowmen, and I was gonna work on my Yoda stitch, but as you guys saw already, I finished that Yoda stitch and it's freaking adorable. And it's from Oh My Stitches shop, and it's not currently in her Etsy, but she designed the pattern, and I bet if you wrote her directly, she would be happy to send it to you. So I changed that goal to finish another house on my hometown holidays because I was having trouble. I was trying to do that 25/7 thing, but that's not how I stitch. Because before Flosstube, I was a choose one project, start it, finish, stitch on it until it was done, and then do another one. And so at heart, I am a monogamous stitcher, and so switching back and forth even to two different projects on one day is too much for me. So I changed that to my goal because I only had 2 houses left, and like, I want to get this done so it can be all fully finished for Christmas. So anyway, so the Mill Hill snowman I took with me on our trip, and I got it completely done. Now it's not assembled, but all the stitching and all the beading are done. And I was sitting there at the dining room table in our Airbnb working on it, and my husband saw I had just dumped all the beads into my eyeglass case and was using that to contain them. And, you know, they send you like tons of extra beads. And he was like, whoa, you have to put on all those beads? And I just I didn't say anything. I let him think that I really did. But no, I don't. But anyway, look how cute it is. And seriously, there are so many beads left. Okay, and this one went super fast, and I think I finished it in like 3 days, working on it a little bit in the evenings. Way faster than the first one, so definitely the more you bead, the faster you get at it. Also, I do think this has slightly fewer beads, but I don't know, that poinsettia is almost solid beads. Anyway, I think I have enough left over that if I can get some more, because like, look at all those beads that are left over. Look at all that. I think if I can get my hands on some more perforated paper, I still have the pattern. I think, besides the charm, I think I could make a second one of these. So I might do that. Rather than buying more kits, because again, remember, I paid 75 cents for these. So I am not mentally prepared to pay $11 for them, or $9 now retail. But I might make a couple more on if I get some perforated paper to go with these. But anyway, yay for having a goal done. And then yay for meeting my other goal. I did get a house done. And in fact, I got so much done that this whole thing is almost done. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to look at which camera. I'm just so gorgeous, you know, I get distracted by my face. Anyway, okay, so I was working on the stitch shop, and she's all done, except for the back stitch, but I'm going to back stitch everything. So I'll just do that all at once. And then I started on Grandma's house. Yee! And she's almost done too. They just got little bits here and there and some people. Oh my gosh. Do I love this or what? And then this morning, I see that they have released a new house, and it's a music shop. And like, I played piano, my brother played piano, my husband plays the guitar, all my kids have learned an instrument. And I kind of wish I would have had space to put that on here somewhere. But this is more my childhood, and okay, I kind of learned piano, but I'm not as good as my brother, and I stopped a lot earlier. So I probably will buy the music shop and just make it as like a small ornament separate. Because I have a few. I have like the carolers, I have the clock shop, and something else that I ended up not... I bought them and then decided it didn't fit with the whole theme. And so I didn't put them on there. The ones I chose have more significance to me. And so I'll just turn those into little individual ones. Now, why the sweet shop, you say? Amy, please tell us more about your life. At least that's what I find the most interesting about Flosstubes, is when people share intimate details about their life. I mean, the stitching's beautiful, right? But like, I love a good story. Okay, so my grandma, my mom's mom, every year for Christmas made a whole bunch of homemade candy. And on Christmas Eve, we would always go over there, and she would have this big table full of all the different like homemade chocolates and candies and whatever, and we would get to eat it. My mother also continued that tradition, and there is one of my most favorite photos from Christmas when my mom took. I was 2, I think. Yeah, I was 2.5. And so my brother he's 5 years older than me, so he was 7.5, and she had made a whole batch of Divinity, which, if you know what it is, you know how delicious it is. And if you don't know what Divinity is, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. But it's like whipped egg white meringue sweet with pecan, vanilla flavored heaven in your mouth. Hence the name Divinity, because it is divine. Anyway, there's a picture of us sitting there with our mouths full, and the tray that had been completely full of the little drops of Divinity was now half empty, and the other half was in our bellies. And now I continue that tradition of making lots and lots of candies and chocolates, homemade chocolates, at Christmas time, and give them out to friends and neighbors, and of course my children. So I had to have the sweet shop on there. So that is my hometown holidays. I'm absolutely loving it. And I was thinking today, so I was like, should I have added some beads somewhere? Like when I got here to the little, oh geez, that's not gonna work, is it? Okay, let me see here. I'll do it this way. The fan is not helping with holding this stuff still, but it's helping me not melt. So there we go. Okay, so right here, see on that wreath underneath the bowl, there's like a bunch of cute little, I can't think of the word, French knots. There's little French knots. I don't know if you can see it, but there's French knots in there. And, ooh, I know what. Hold on a second. Maybe that light will help it show up better. Yeah, maybe. So there's those little pink French dots in that wreath. And I was like, should I use some beads? And I was like, no. I'll just French knot it, because there was a couple other places where there were French knots and I didn't use beads yet because I hadn't learned about the awesomeness of beads completely when I did those. But I am thinking now, in everywhere that there is a window that is just like left open, I think, because the whole reason I stitched this on this blue coffee tea dyed material was I kind of wanted it to give it like a dusk twilight wintry time. You know how like at 3 o'clock it just starts to get it's not dark yet, but it's like not light yet, and so you have to turn on the lights. I kind of want to give that feel in some of the windows, so I think I'm going to go back on all these windows that are just plain. Some of them are filled in, but there's a lot that are not. And I think I'm going to add in some pale yellow, like it's a light. So even though it looks almost done, I'm not ready to be done working on it. I still want to make it cuter. But especially now, I feel like it's barely August, and like I'm almost done with that last house. And so I have time to play around and add some little extra stuff like that, and still have it finished in time for Christmas, no problem. So that's hometown holidays. All right. So then the other thing, last time I showed you this one that was already done, and I had started this Lizzie Kate one, and now it's all done as well. Super, super cute. And I have to say, so On this, she had put like a heart charm. I guess you could order the heart charm. It was a free chart, but of course you can't, she's not going to pass out free charms. Well, and I was just like, maybe I'll have something. I don't know. I looked through my charms. I didn't have anything. But let me dig around in here. Here it is. We were on our trip. We were at this lake. It was the lake that they used to be the lake around Hogwarts Castle. And there was a bench there, and on this bench there was this little charm, and I'm going to hold it up like this. There you go. There was this little charm that had clearly fallen off of somebody's, like, little girl's bracelet or cheap necklace or something. And I went, oh my gosh, that's perfect, especially because it's a memory of our trip and where I found it and all that stuff. So I am going to be attaching that to there. So I got those ones finished. And then I started on another one because I just can't help myself. And I got it almost done before we left on my trip. And I brought it with to finish on the plane or in the car, but ended up not getting to it at all because I was having so much fun with my snowman and with my Hometown holidays. But it's like going to be, you know, an hour stitching in the evening. So this is another last one, free. These were all from the, you know, when everybody was in lockdown, and so a lot of designers were offering free charts. This is one of those, and all that I need to do is the little flowers, swirly flowers in the corners, and this one will be done. And then I will turn those all into pillows as well and put them in my dough bowl, and that will be my completed set, and I'm super happy. Those will be fun. I have found a few more freebies on Pinterest that maybe could go, but my bowl is getting full, so I have to decide if I want. I do have like another receptacle I could fill them in, or if it's just enough, because like sometimes more is just more. It's not better, in my opinion. Okay, so what am I? Oh, hold on. It's not time for plans. Let's talk about my haul, because visit from a daughter from America means haul. First off, I sent her to Joann's and Michael's, and she went to. Did she go to Hobby Lobby too? I think she did, that sweet girl. Where she lives, they're like all kind of on the same street. Well, Michael's and Joann are right next to each other, and Hobby Lobby's like further down, but also close by. And sent her a list of every floss that I did not have. Now, actually, I lied, because some of the flosses I did have, but they were like in already kitted up projects. And so they weren't in my bobbin box, and so, but I'm happy to have extras. And so look at this absolute amazing pile of beautifulness. Hold on. She brought me. Do you hear the angels singing? I do. She also brought thread, floss, for my friend Dawn, Frosty X Stitch, and beads for her that Dawn ordered and had sent to Sarah's house, and then some for my friend Ina as well, for her to finish her project. Because, again, let it remind you, my daughter paid like 50 cents each for these, and here, an hour and 10 minutes from where the factory is where they are made, I get to pay $2.50 for one skate of regular floss. It's 5 times the price, people. Y'all in America don't know how good you have it. I hope you appreciate it. I really, really do. So, anyway, that is one of my awesome things that I will take some time to bobbinate those in the future. Then I had ordered a few patterns, just a couple. Who was it? Oh, it was Helen D. Was having announced that Cobweb Corner was having a sale. She works a lot with Carla at Cobweb Corner, and so I was like, I will order some things from her. I don't always have to order from Fat Quarter Shop or 123 Stitch. So I got a few more of this Prayer School of Santas. Do not care that they are not on cardstock. I really do not. I just want the Santas. And then I also ordered, this one is on cardstock. This is the 2007 Santa because I need it for, you know, I'm making all the Santas for when the year my husband and I got married, and then each year the kids. And so this 2007 is the last one for my daughter. So there's that. And the reason I got this one is because I graduated in 1988, and I went on my mission in 1992, and so did my husband. Church mission for our church. That's where we actually met. So I got that one as well because I thought that year would be significant to us. I don't want to stitch them all. I just want to stitch the ones that have the years that are significant to something in our family, to me. And then I also got Resting Beach Face because, come on. I love Kathy's quirky sense of humor. I love her sass. She's the kindest, nicest lady, and yet she can just... So, yeah, I got this because my daughter, Sophie, we always talk about how she has resting bee face, because she totally does. And even though she's so nice and so many people are, like, afraid to talk to her, and she loves the beach, and, like, her dream vacation is to just lay on the sand for a week. And so I had to get this for her. So I got those. And then, while we were on vacation... Now, I have picked up a couple of issues of this before, or at least one or two issues, when we have been to England. And so every time we went to a Tesco's, because we've got to eat on vacation, I would look, and not all of them had them. But finally we went to this one giant Tesco superstore. All of them had magazines, but this one was like humongous, and it had everything I was searching for. So I got the Cross Stitcher magazine. Whoa! And I love this. Doreen Jones, that lady is amazing, and you should follow her on Facebook because almost every Friday she gives a free pattern, and they're freaking cute. So got that. I got the World of Cross Stitching with Dumbledore and Hedwig on the cover at where we did like a Harry Potter themed trip. So that's perfect. And then I got a quilting magazine. I have so many quilting patterns, but this one came with free templates, and I'm a sucker for quilting templates, so I got it too. That was my super awesome haul. Okay, so my plans now. So Whipco numbers were called. I checked. Now I know I'm like a week behind, but like no stress, right? Cross stitch is my relaxing hobby. It's my fun time. I don't need to stress about, oh no, I'm not keeping up with these self-inflicted goals, okay? But the numbers are 20 and 25, and that happens to be due a Prairie Schooler Santa. And so I am going to, I had the 2007 and I had the 1998, and the number that was called was for the 1998. So I'm going to start the Santa. And then the other number was do a Mill Hill Snowman. Again, that's fine with me. So this is the last of the three that I found for 75 cents at the thrift store in Utah. This one is Birdhouse. So I will be doing that one. And finishing up Hometown Holidays. And finishing up Merry Merry Quite Contrary for my mommy. Okay. So I have plenty to do for August. I'm also doing a cleaning challenge with one of my friends, where you throw, like on August 1st, you throw away one thing. August 2nd, you throw away two things. on and on and on. So at the end, you've gotten rid of like, I don't know what it was, 536 things or something crazy like that. Now, I try to declutter on an almost yearly basis starting in January, but there's always more that can be gotten rid of. And there's a few things that I really just need to push myself, and doing it with, like today, I need to get rid of 6 things. So, okay, my goal is I'm going to go through all my Tupperware and get rid of 6 Tupperwares, because I'm sure I have at least 2 lids that have no body, and I have bodies that have no lids. So that's an easy way to get 6 items cleaned out, and it forces me to finally do it and reorganize that cupboard, because it's kind of scary. We organize it every year, and I really try to keep up with it, but I and my daughter, who helps me organize it, are not the only ones who put the Tupperware away, and not everybody else is fastidious as we are. So, you know, things happen. Anyway, okay, so if all you're here for is cross stitch and you don't care about gossip and travel and all that stuff, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you later. But if you do care, because I do too, here's some news. Okay, so first things first is I got glasses. Because people, I'm 52, I can't see far away, and I cannot see close up. And so here you go. There's my glasses. Now, right where I'm at, this actually makes it more blurry because it's not far away enough and it's not close up enough. But I'm putting them on so you can see. I'm super happy with them. I kind of like them. It was always my dream to be able to wear glasses because, I don't know, I just think they're cool. But at the same time, it's a little bit of a mental adjustment because these are like old ladies' glasses. These are bifocals, folks. I'm blind. I'm 52. Oh my gosh. So that's been an adjustment, but there you go. And so this is the eyeglass case that I use to hold my beads. Because I don't have a bead buddy, whatever those things are, yet. I would love it with a sticky on one side. I totally want to make one, but I don't have one yet. We went to London for 4 days, and then we went to Wales. London was freaking hot. Even though the heat wave was already over, the hostel that we were in, because all the hotels were super expensive. Like after COVID, everything like rental car prices and hotel prices are so expensive. Getting to London is always cheap, but staying in London is always super expensive. At least for us, right? It's an hour-and-a-half flight. They often have them for $100 round trip. Getting there I have been several times, and I'm so thankful. I love London. I can never go to London enough. But staying there is expensive. So my husband was like, okay, we're going to stay in a hostel, and it was still not cheap, but it was cheaper than anywhere else, and we'll eat out. So we ate out at like the Wolsey Cafe, had Sunday breakfast there, and we ate out at a fancy tea room in Wales, and just did a lot of nice food things since we were cheaping out on accommodations in London. And the last thing, so it was cooler in London, and outside it was great, but our hostel room, you couldn't open the window because they had scaffolding because they were doing the outside, and there's no air conditioning, and we had to be on a wait list for fans, and so we got fans the last 2 nights, but the first 2 nights we were not there, and the fans did not oscillate, and so even though there were, we had to like take my daughter's mattress off the bunk bed, put it on the floor in the middle so that we at least 2 of us could have the fan, and so I turned it so that my 2 daughters could have the fan, and I just slept in the miserable hot. Oh my gosh, it was so hot. So hot. But the hostel was super, well located in the central of London and everything we wanted to see. So I'm not against, and we had our own bathroom and shower right there in the room, and that was great. And the boys were in a room right next to us, and so that was great. And that was lovely. But and they had an area downstairs where we could like go get food and bring it in if we wanted, which we did once. And they didn't care. So it was fine. It was just so hot from the heat, and you couldn't open the windows because they were remodeling. So I don't know. But the last day we were there, we went to Harry Potter Studios. And we went once before. It was 5 years ago. And so my two youngest were younger, and like my son Noah kind of got separated from us and spent most of the time looking for us and being worried that he couldn't find us and alone. And we finally caught up to him halfway, and so he like wanted a redo, and he had missed, he didn't get his picture taken. And so I'm gonna just flash it. So we had, he and Alexandra wanted that again. So we went and revisited. And yeah, Alexandra was she was really young. She only remembers parts of it. And they've added so much stuff. So if you've been already, but it's been a couple years, go again. Because so good. Like when we went the first time, they had this giant cage. Literally, that's what it was. It was this cage made out of like that chain metal fencing stuff in the middle of this room, and there was just shelves, and it was full of like some of the props and stuff that they had used in the movie. And you just kind of had to peer in and look at them. Well, now they've got like this all spread out and nice showcases with labels and lights, and like it's way better. And you could go inside Privet Drive, whereas before you could not. So that was really cool where they lived. Before you could just walk past the houses, but now you got to go in the Dursleys' house and into their backyard. They had the Professor Sprout's herbology greenhouse there, and you could pull a mandrake out of the ground. That was really fun. And just, oh my gosh. Oh, the Forbidden Forest. They built the Forbidden Forest. Like, so awesome. And I won't give away anything of what happens in there, but it's so good. And Gringotts. There's two parts of Gringotts. There's Gringotts Beautiful, and there's Gringotts Destroyed. It was our Harry Potter loving hearts were overflowing with joy. And so I got my t-shirt. And I got this needle minder. It's Hagrid's Hut, and it's actually a pin, but I'm going to turn it into a needle binder. And I don't even really use needle minders, but I love this, and I want it as a needle minder. So that's what I'm doing there. Some of the other highlights, we went to the beach where Dobby was buried. We went to Gloucester Cathedral, which is where they filmed several inside Hogwarts themes, like when it's written on the wall, the blood of, mud blood will die when Ginny gets taken, okay? And they're in and they come out, and the Filch's cat is petrified. And the girls' lavatory where the troll is, and the lavatory where Harry and Draco have that big fight, and he uses the Septum Sectra and hurts him at the end. That's there. Oh my gosh, we got to see that all. So like, I can officially say I have walked the halls of actual Hogwarts. I have been where Harry has been. I have been where Dumbledore has been. I have been where Professor McGonagall was. It was freaking awesome. Other highlights, we went to, well, it was almost all good. There was a couple of times, when you're traveling and you're with people all the time, get a little touchy, but most of the time it was super great. We had a wonderful time. The only sad thing was my daughter Sophie could not come. She had to work. But she enjoyed, we had on our family WhatsApp chat, we were, constantly connecting, writing back and forth, like, hey, where are you? What's going on? What are we? And she said she loved like clocking out of work, and then they would all show up on her phone, and she would just read them all and just laugh and try to, like, because with no context, they were just hilarious to read. Anyway, so that was lovely. Wales was gorgeous and green and lush and cool, and it had rain. And it had freaking sheep everywhere. I mean, okay, we have sheep in Switzerland, right? But they have bells around their necks, and they're in their fields. These sheep in Wales, there were no bells, and they were walking around everywhere, including on the road we were driving on, which is a one-lane road, and we're used to skinny roads, but this was really skinny with like hedgerows super high on either side, and my husband's driving this giant van on the wrong side of the world from what he's used to, and then there's a car coming the other direction. I mean, come on now, people. They got space everywhere, and they got to build a road this big. Whatever. But it was gorgeous. It was lovely. And, yeah, the sheep were crazy. We never hit one. I did it at one point say, hey, should we just kidnap one and take it home as a pet? And the kids were like, just get one from the farmer next door, Mom. And I was like, yeah, okay. Because we do have sheep that live next door. But they seemed much, that's the thing, the sheep here in Switzerland are super skittish. Like, I'll walk by and just go, bah! And so they'll answer back, and sometimes if I go, wah! They just like scatter and run. They're such scaredy cats. And these sheep are like chilling out on the road, and the car's coming past, and they're just like, I'm not bothered. I'm just eating my grass. You can go around me. So that was, they like literally did not move for the car. So that was pretty surprising and hilarious and entertaining. We went to Strumblehead Beach and tried to look for dolphins. We didn't see any, but it was gorgeous. We went to Cardiff and saw a bunch of Doctor Who filming sites and did some shopping. We went up to Northern Wales, which was absolutely gorgeous, and visited several castles and old St. David's Cathedral, which is like a pilgrimage thing. Not my religion, but a Christian religion thing. It just really inspiring and amazing and gorgeous, and we loved it. And then we got off the plane here in Switzerland, and it was so hot again. Ugh. And we all wished we could go back to Wales. And the good thing is, my daughter's luggage arrived the day we were supposed to leave. So on her birthday, the luggage showed up that Air Canada had lost. Hallelujah. So that's how I got all my floss, and everything was there, and she had all her clothes. And so we hurried and did a bunch of laundry because she had brought all dirty clothes because she's a college student coming home. Of course, she's going to pack dirty clothes. So I washed everything so she could repack it and take it on our trip that night. But the disappointing thing, do not fly Air Canada, because even though they're the ones who stranded her and refused, the plane was late because of their own fault, and then they stranded her in Toronto when they could have put her on another airline's flight that same day and made her stay 2 extra days in Canada, and we had to buy her all her clothes and lost her luggage and all put up her hotel. They said, oh, everything was out of our control. We're not going to give you any reimbursement. Bull crap. So Air Canada, I wish them bankruptcy. That is all I wish from the bottom of my heart, is that they will go out of business and all those poor employees can go get employed with an airline that knows what the crap they're doing. So, yeah. Oh, and what did we mostly bring back from England and Wales? Brown sugar. Light and dark brown sugar. Because here they sell raw sugar, which is super healthy, but it's super dry, and American-style chocolate chip cookies do not taste the same. The sugar doesn't melt. It's like so crystally chunks. So we bought our light and brown Tesco brown sugar, several kilos of it, and we had no weight limit on in our hand luggage, carry-on luggage, and so we just filled those puppies up with brown sugar. It was lovely, wonderful. It was a great trip, and yeah, we celebrated my son's birthday there, and it was a great trip. I love UK. So now I've been everywhere except I haven't been to Ireland or Northern Ireland. So we still have to go to those. And we've been to Scotland, but I want to go to the Shetland Islands super bad. And I want to go to the Isle of Skye. We went to the edge of the Isle of Skye, but we didn't go to it all the way. So those are places that I still want to go to, but we've seen a lot of UK. And for me, who grew up with not much money and didn't ever think I would travel the way I did. And the fact that we live in Central and Europe, and so we're close to a lot of things, doesn't make it easier. But even so, with 5 kids, it's expensive to travel, and it's my husband's priority as well. And every month he sets aside some of his paycheck. It goes straight into his savings account that's just for travel. And I'm so thankful that he and I share that same. We'd rather scrimp in other areas so that we can travel on a regular basis. And I'm really glad that that's a priority for both of us. And because this world is amazing, it's full of amazing, wonderful, kind people and beautiful, gorgeous sights and awe-inspiring history. And I want to see it all. I just want to see it all. And I know that's not possible, so I'm just thankful for everything I do get to see, because it's always, always good and cool. All right, so that is it for me. I'm supposed to make a post in 2 weeks, and I probably will be able to do that. My daughter is leaving August 15th, so she will be gone by the next time I post, but that means that I will be able to post, because I'll be like, if it was scheduled to be on the day that she was flying, I wouldn't do it, but since it's already after she's supposed to be gone, I'll be fine and I'll be able to post. So that's that. I hope you have a lovely time. As you can see, we are all mentally feeling a lot better. The trip really did us a lot of good. It was amazing. And summer is always a nice time to relax and kind of get back to basics. So thank you again for all my new subscribers. Don't forget Stitch Bustle, September 2023. Save your pennies now, folks. $25 a month set aside. Won't get you there, but $50 will. $100 definitely will. $50 you could do it cheap. And come stay with me for part of the time, and then come to Stitch Bustle. So there's that. Look at our Facebook page. Frosty X Stitch Dawn, she has posted another video about it, and I hope as many of you as possible can make it. And yeah, thank you so much. Cheers.